Yes, Reggaeville Massive, this is Munchy at SummerJam 2014, and I'm with 4 of the 5 members of Dubtonic Kru. Stone will still roll in, but I am lucky to already have here with me
Kamau,
the percussionist and also the singer.
Yeah, Juba, drums, and some vocals.
yeah man, Luke, keyboard.
And Pastor, apparently.
Yes, man.
Jalanzo, vocals and guitar.
Exactly, and we're still waiting for the bassy, but nevertheless, guys, you just came off the stage. It was a real wonderful performance. You performed with Ibamar, but you also did your own set. How was the experience like? Because it's actually really the first time for you guys being at SummerJam, right?
Yeah, man, definitely first time as Dubtonic Kru, and it was a great experience. We were looking forward to this show, and let me say, this is the first show of our tour, our summer tour here in Europe, so it was a great vibe. Yeah, man.
How did you experience it? Because rain was falling a bit, but I felt like it never really messed with the vibe. Because
I feel like really still Munchy, like the rain did add something to the experience, because you know the things. So when the rain come down, the people them would have scatter. It's like the people them enjoy the performance even more when the rain come down, because we say, "Do you love the rain?" and the people them say, "Yeah." So the vibe irie, and it's one of the first time we sit in a Europe or anywhere perform where rain actually make the people them get crazier, you know, with the performance. And we really love it. The 29th stage in a SummerJam, and yeah, good vibes, you know, great vibes, for real.
so the tour just kicked off basically now. Are you excited now for the traveling and all things to come?
Yes, man, excited for tour Europe again and do the works, share our talent, our music. For the people. So it's a joy, yeah, man.
And me glad to finally interview you guys. I feel like, though, I know you are ready to some extent, of course, but I was doing some stories, not about Dubtonic Kru, but the name Juba drop already, speaking to Winter James and speaking to Cox, who is the bass player now for Alpha Blondie, and we went way back to Glenmuir High School in Jamaica. That's where you actually started playing the drums. Please tell me, how was it like?
It's like, since I come out of my mother's womb, it's like she made me know, say, as early as 3 years old, I run around in the house and I pick up the pots and pans and the forks and spoons and everything, and I hit everything when I say. And I use up my voice for scream and sing and crow and whatever we want to call it. And it was at about age 12 that I met my rest of colleagues, Cox at the time, Winter James, and another colleague that was a guitarist at the time, Markus, and Cox and Winter, they were at Lennon High School. Myself was at Glenmuir, and Fireball, Markus was at Garvey Massey, and we started with journey there. We used to just meet and play music as their high school band left from our high school and met at their high school, and we officially became their high school band. Yeah, and the journey continued from there, and that's been it, to this point. So I'm really grateful for the journey, and the colleagues that were there have been there and to this point. It's a stone that it's been like over 10 years, over 12 years, that we've been working together. This is Dubtonic Kru as it is. Kamau had his solo career before, and everything that happened was like magical for Dubtonic Kru. Luke, Jalanzo, it came together magical. It was not anything that was planned, because originally when we decided we were gonna kick off something independent called Dubtonic Kru, it was myself and Stone and Winter. We started out recording. It started out as a project. Dubtonic Kru started out as a project, a dub project, and it evolved to where it's at now. And we just give thanks. We give thanks for the support from everyone that has been there. Helping us to, to lift up the vibe, and continue to this point, because it's a journey and it's not always smooth. But Reggaeville, Munchy, big up. Yeah,
Keep
man.
talking, speak up yourselves as well. But we spoke about it already. You were involved in different projects before you had your solo career. What would you say is a special thing about the Dubtonic Kru where you say, all right, these are exactly those brethren that I want to make music with, that I want to tour with, because you must spend a lot of time together as well, not just on stage, but also off stage. And then you must have a feel for one another musically. What would you say is that special?
It's like, to me, like making music together is not the easiest thing for a lot of ones, but for I and I, it's easy. You know what I mean? When we're cohesive and everything not fall into place but stand into place when we come together for play music, you know. And so it's easy for play music with Dubtonic, and it's easy for when we go up on stage. Because all we have a spontaneity we do when we play is like it just always melt into something that is always going to be exciting, something that is always going to be surprising. So it easy. Like for me personally, it's easy to make music with Dubtonic because everybody have them different style, but when it come together, it's a different thing. It's like it's almost like Juba said, magical. So yeah, it's very easy to make music with Dubtonic. Very, very easy. Yeah, because we all listen to different genres and everybody have them special likeness for samba, rumba, you know what I mean, or some kind of African beat and thing. But then when it come together, it fit and it work. So it's always a good thing and it feel right, you know. So give thanks. Yeah.
What I also realized when I was watching you guys perform on stage earlier, I felt like I saw Jalonzo and I saw Stone turning around at some points, looking at Juba. Is that like also the interaction? You say, oh, the vibe is like this, and you have a feel on stage and you can like connect with one another during the performance, Stone?
Communication, you know? Yeah. You have to communicate, you know? We have to communicate to make sure we're you know what I mean, we're feeling each other, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, we have to interact on stage, you know, for real, definite, you know, what you mean.
Jalonzo, you want to say something?
The question you ask?
Yeah.
Well, it's not just about playing, you know, it's about feeling. And everybody, we have our own feel, and whenever I look at Juba, I get that energy. Whenever I turn around and look at Luke, I get that energy. And the band member I look at, I get that energy. If I look around and Luke is not giving me any energy, you know, it's like, oh, you know what I mean? So it's not about just playing the music, it's a whole lot about feeling as well.
I mean, I'll add to that by saying that the music as one product, if we want to call it that, is molded together. As Kamo expressed before, like right here we are 5 different individuals, 5 different personalities with 5 different likes and dislikes, and or various likes and dislikes, you know, from the 5 of us as band members. And so therefore it's us molding together the vibration that is coming from us, you know, to create that one thing that the audience listens to and dance to and interpret in their own way. You know what I mean? So it's like we're feeding off each other when we're on stage, and you know, we're looking at each other, and every now and then, you know, sometimes depending on the time of the programmation, you know, we might have to drop a tune or, you know, drop a 2 tune, and you know, and at the same time our show, if you notice, our show is not something that is just set and rigid and whatever, you know, like we feel free with what we're doing. So like at every show you will see a lot of spontaneity. You know, you'll see a different. You come here today at SummerJam, and if you're at Rototom in August or wherever else we're gonna be, you will hear the same songs, but you're gonna hear something that is gonna touch you in a different way. You're gonna see something that is gonna feel different and look different on stage, and that's just the vibe. We just represent from our heart, and we vibe with each other on stage. You understand?
Yeah, man. Yeah. That is the musical medicine. That's top Dubtonic is, right?
That's it.
And all this great vibe together that had eventually led you to the global battle of the bands. I think I would really touch this issue because it's an exceptional thing. The global battle of the bands is not just a reggae competition, and it's an international thing. First of all, it represents all genres of music, and you won the battle of the bands in Malaysia. How was the experience like?
Personally, for me, and I guess I can speak on behalf of the entire band, we were ecstatic. It was great. We went to represent ourselves, and we went to represent Jamaica, and we went to represent the entire reggae community across the world. And I think those judges, from what I heard, I didn't even know that we were like favorites going into the competition, because all the other bands from various countries, you know, when we got there, they were like, "Oh, guys, we love your sound, we love your music," and we were like, you know, we went confident, but we knew this was a musical showcase. It was a competition. It was, for us, we do what we love to the best of our ability. So we didn't see it much of a competition. We saw it as something that we're going to go and we're going to represent. You know, we're going to do the best we can do, you know, to represent our genre and our people and our vibe and ourselves. And we did just that, and it was a unanimous decision by the judges. And also when I saw the reaction of the audience when they announced us as winners, that was even more overwhelming, because there we are at a place, there was only one Jamaican, and that Jamaican was our cameraman. And we saw all these fans of the other bands and just patrons coming in that saw the entire thing unfold in front of them. And it was like, it was crazy, you know. So we were like, yes, give thanks, Jah, because it is evident that we represented well enough, that it was unanimous from both sides, the judges and the audience. So we're honored, man. We're honored.
But unfortunately, though, what I recently read is not all that glitters is gold, and you did not receive the full prize that you were supposed to get, right? What happened there?
Oh, so it was supposed to be a $100,000 development package. So we should have gotten $10,000 in cash, and the rest in according to them, the development package, which included a publicity EP and a tour and some recordings. But what happened is that they flew us to LA, and they record 2 songs which they claim that they are still searching for mark, like to get the shopping around to get it in the mark, stuff like that. And we didn't get the tour, we didn't get nothing else, but still giving thanks, because guess what, we get some, you know, some recognition and exposure, some props, you know. So I mean, that in itself, you know, was a thing. But I mean, if we were promised or was contracted that we were going to get X, Y, Z, which is a business and it is a contract, so it's a breach of contract. You understand? So it is totally wrong. You understand? So I mean, that is it. But I mean, disappointed, but at the same time, you have to give thanks, because I mean, as I say, we get a little exposure and a little hype from it. So I mean, give thanks, you know.
I have to give thanks for everything on the journey, and even again adding to what Luke had said, saying that basically what was promised and what was contracted and what was advertised, what we received is far from what we were supposed to, you know, receive. However, at the end of the competition, what they were explaining and what they were ecstatic about, they were saying, you know, a band like Dubtonic Kru, it's the first they've experienced anything like that. And they're dealing with world music, they're dealing with rock, they're dealing with heavy metal and everything else. And what they have done in the past was to tour these bands, do club tours with these bands. They were like, what I got from them was, okay, how do we handle this situation now? So they were like, okay, Dubtonic Kru is bigger than just a club tour. We need to put you guys on a festival tour. And that was what they were explaining to us. However, what I realized or what I feel and the vibe I was getting from them was that Dubtonic Kru was already doing so much for themselves, because we were organizing our own little tours. We were not waiting on anyone. You know what I mean? We love partnering with people, and we've always, welcomed partnerships. But I think we have been so proactive over the years that we just went out there and we were doing things. We were contacting clubs, we were contacting festivals, and we were performing. We were doing our tours. So a lot of people would see dates and would probably feel like there's a big thing behind it. That was just us loving what we do and just getting out there on the road. And it has been rough. You know what I mean? It has been rough. So I think what happened was that they felt that their responsibility was to top what we were already doing. And the fact that they were not, they had no knowledge of how the reggae industry conducted itself, as well as I kind of feel like over time the industry has changed. So when these are people who have been involved with major record companies and signing a paper, signing a bond, and those kind of things, and a deal, and I feel like that part of the business was going down. I think that's where they got caught. Two things: not understanding the reggae industry, not understanding how to market and deal with that kind of situation. Plus, they were in a situation of trying to top what we were already doing. And that's been it. So far, we've only recorded like 2 songs. They flew in some producers from Sweden and flew us in from Jamaica, and we met in LA. We had a great time though. We recorded 2 nice songs and everybody was excited about it. So let's see. We're still not giving up hope. You know what I mean? And we're still pushing forward. Yeah, man.
And that's why I think it's even greater, because you are still doing your own thing. You are here now, you're playing the shows, you are touring, and you also put out Evolution. That was put out last year. I had it in Wagwan Munchy, of course, with the video. So for those people that have not heard it yet, but how would you describe Evolution to them? Because it's not just reggae music, it is so much more.
Evolution, like the title track explains, is like the music itself, reggae music evolving through our interpretation of the music itself. So you will hear a little bit of everything. You hear a little bit of like dubstep and a little psychedelic, which is the essence of Dubtonic. Is not just straight reggae music. It's a little bit of everybody's experience for all the travels everybody travel, and everybody meds, coming into sort of like a melting pot, and you get that that kind of eclectic feeling. Not just a straight one drop. It kind of mix up, and so it gives a slightly different tinge, but it's still reggae, and a great album to me. We're looking to do more, because there's always more to be done, and we give thanks. We're still doing what we do, and we're still giving thanks for life, and we still have health and strength, and we're there at SummerJam, and we play music where we love, and the people them seem to enjoy what we do. So we're grateful and honored, because without the fans, without you, the industry partners, we can't do it. So we give thanks for your support, and we just continue to march on. Give thanks.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you very much, Dubtonic Kru. All the best for marching on, for all more albums to come, all the shows to play. Safe travels on this tour coming now. Big up yourselves. Give thanks. Enough love.
Thank you very much.
Respect.
Mad, sick, Reggaeville.
Mad, sick, Reggaeville.